Staying positive in tough times can feel like trying to find sunlight in the middle of a storm. Challenges come in many forms: loss, failure, setbacks, or unexpected change. In those moments, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, to lose hope, and to question whether things will ever get better. But within each of us lies a powerful force that can help us endure, adapt, and ultimately triumph. The power of belief. Belief is not about ignoring difficulties or pretending that pain doesn't exist. Rather, it's about holding on to the possibility that things can improve, that your actions matter, and that you have the strength within you to persevere. It's about nurturing hope, even when the path ahead is uncertain. Consider the story of Maya, a young woman whose life seemed to unravel all at once. For years, Maya had worked tirelessly at her job, pouring her heart and soul into her work. She dreamed of climbing the ladder, of making a meaningful impact, and of helping her family live a better life. But then, an unexpected turn of events changed everything. The company she worked for downsized, and she found herself without a job. The news hit her like a tidal wave. Suddenly, the future she had envisioned seemed to slip through her fingers. As days turned into weeks, Maya struggled with feelings of fear, disappointment, and uncertainty. She worried about how she would pay her bills, whether she would find another job, and what her family would think. The world seemed gray and uncertain. It would have been easy for her to give in to despair, to let negativity dominate her every thought. But in the midst of her struggle, Maya remembered something her grandmother used to say. Belief is the seed of possibility. When you plant it, you give yourself a chance to bloom, even in rocky soil. Inspired by those words, Maya decided to shift her perspective. Instead of focusing on what she had lost, she began to look for what she still had. She made a list of her strengths, her resilience, her creativity, her work ethic. She reached out to friends and mentors for support, and she took small steps each day to improve her situation. She updated her resume, learned new skills online, and applied for jobs. Even when it felt daunting, there were setbacks along the way. Sometimes she didn't get a response. Other times, she faced rejection. But each time she felt herself slipping into negativity, she would pause and remind herself, every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every no brings me closer to a yes. She believed that the future held something good for her, even if she couldn't see it yet. Slowly but surely, things began to change. One day, she received a call from a company she had admired for years. They had seen her application and were impressed by her determination and adaptability. After several interviews, Maya landed a new job, one that not only matched her skills, but also aligned with her values and passions. The journey had been difficult, but through it all, her belief in herself and in the possibility of a better future had carried her through. Maya's story is just one example of how the power of belief can help us stay positive in tough times. But how can you cultivate this mindset in your own life? Start by acknowledging your feelings. It's okay to feel sad, frustrated, or scared. These emotions are natural, and allowing yourself to experience them is the first step toward healing. But don't let these feelings define you or dictate your actions. Instead, ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? What small steps can I take today to move forward? Next, focus on gratitude. Even in the darkest of moments, there are things to be grateful for. A supportive friend, a warm meal, a moment of laughter. By shifting your attention to these positive aspects, you train your mind to see possibilities rather than limitations. Gratitude doesn't erase your problems, but it gives you the strength to face them with hope. Surround yourself with positivity. Seek out stories of resilience. Connect with people who uplift you, and limit exposure to negativity, whether it comes from news, social media, or toxic relationships. The voices you listen to shape your outlook, so choose wisely. Set realistic goals and celebrate small wins. Progress might be slow, and setbacks are inevitable, but every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. By recognizing your achievements, you build confidence and momentum. Remember, self-belief is not about arrogance or denying reality. It's about trusting that you have the inner resources to handle whatever comes your way. It's about choosing hope over despair, action over apathy, and growth over stagnation. When times are tough, it can be tempting to focus on what's going wrong. But the power of belief lies in your willingness to look for what could go right. It's about nurturing the conviction that, with time, effort, and perseverance, you can overcome adversity. This belief becomes a guiding light, illuminating the path forward. Even when the way ahead is unclear, the world is full of stories like Maya's. Stories of people who faced unimaginable challenges and emerged stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. What sets them apart is not that they never struggled, but that they refused to let hardship define their destiny. They believed in themselves, in the kindness of others, and in the possibility of a brighter tomorrow. So, the next time you find yourself in the midst of a storm, remember the power of belief. Plant that seed of possibility in your heart. Nurture it with hope, gratitude, and determination. Surround yourself with positivity and take small steps forward. You may not be able to control everything that happens to you, but you can choose how you respond. And sometimes, that choice makes all the difference. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Let your belief be the anchor that keeps you grounded, the fuel that propels you forward, and the light that guides you through the darkness. The journey may be long, and the road may be hard, but with belief in your heart, you have the power to turn adversity into opportunity and to write your own story of triumph. If this story touched your heart, feel free to share it. And if you've ever found strength in an unexpected place, I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more heartfelt stories like this one.